Here's my experience with slot machines.
Okay.
I am the luckiest person ever with slot machines. It's amazing my luck
Hmm.
because I'll take a nickel and go up to a nickel slot machine. I'll put a nickel in, I'll pull the handle, and I'll lose my nickel. And I'll say, that sucked. And I'll never play another slot machine. And that's how I am so lucky with slot machines.
I do recall someone telling us, oh, I believe it was the cab driver on our way in. The luckiest thing you can do gambling wise in Vegas is to not gamble at all in Vegas. And I said, sir, that is the opposite of the reason we're here. But I do agree. Light from Lantern presents Knit a Spell. I'm magical maker, Katie Rempe.
And I'm the maker of magic, James Devine.
Join us as we stitch together the symbiotic relationship between crafting
and the craft. So, was it fun to do this?
It was fun. It was a fun way to just decide what to do because there's so many of them. And like at a certain point, you're like, is there really a difference? And if you don't know anything about slot machines or realize that there might be something to know about slot machines, then, why not just let the coin flip decide?
Yeah. Did you get any like intuitive sense as you were playing?
Brienne mentions in last week's episode where it seemed like we almost had better luck when we weren't being filmed because the pressure was off and there was no need to perform anything or hope that you hit so that you had good content. And so I actually felt like I made better choices probably then because I was less limited by how we wanted to organize the content.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is important to talk about, and I'm a little loath to talk about it because I don't want it to ruin our episode, but I think it's also, let's blow this up a little bit. What we did inadvertently is take a scientific approach to something that doesn't work in the scientific way. So, magic and energy and psychic abilities doesn't work in the same way as reductionist science and the scientific method. They're both 100% valid and they both work, but they work in different ways. And so I think one of the things to point out is something that you've so astutely observed. You realized that when you weren't being filmed, when there wasn't the pressure, it seemed to work better. And this is something that's really interesting. Science relies on an observer and repeatability and
Mm.
reliability in something that is observable by our five senses in 3D reality. And so that allows us to make things like how do electrons work and how do we have light bulbs and things that work in technology and in the 3D reality. And that's the arena where science works. Magic and psychic ability work in something outside of observable science and reductionist science. We don't yet understand where that works, although we're starting to get an inkling of that in quantum physics. So this says that when we observe something, it has an impact on what we are doing. So the act of observation of our magical work or our intention work has an impact on what we're doing. One of the cool things we've discovered in this experiment is putting it into an observable experiment has an impact on it. So you weren't necessarily testing just whether a coin flip works. You were also inadvertently testing the active observation of magic and whether that has an impact on your magic.
Oh, Jim, yes, you're so right.
And so what did
Ooh.
you learn from that? You just said it, right?
That's it. Yeah, when you're held to having less expectations, then you let it happen more naturally in
Right.
ways that, duh, you don't expect because you don't know
Right.
everything.
This is why when I teach magic and spell work and intention work, holding your intention lightly, letting go of your lust for results is really important. If you have a lust for results, I want to win. I want to hit that jackpot. I want to scratch off that lottery ticket. That is something that will move that away from you because that intensity of that lust for results will inadvertently create a push away.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And being in the flow, it's a very hard thing to do because it requires you to be very happy with where you're at. It requires you to have amazing acceptance and love. That creates an attraction for the
Mm.
things to come to you. And it may not
Yes.
be the Powerball. It will be
Hmm.
other things that are easier to achieve than the Powerball.
It's that balance of knowing what you want, but not, like you said, striving so desperately to get it. And maybe that's like the word that the magnet flips and it's a repellent now, as
Yeah.
opposed to the attraction.
You set up a whole attraction for luck. And think about what you did create. You didn't have the security guard who was watching you on one of those actually approach you and bother you. You had good fortune throughout in being able to catch really great footage that's so colorful and really professional. There was luck and fortune in ways beyond just winning money.
So the test worked. We
What
could
do you
do
mean?
this again, and I would actually know how to film this in a way easier fashion so that the editing isn't such a mystery on the other side. So now that you've seen the episode, Jim, tell us, what would you do different? Would you use a coin flip to do a slot? And if not, would you do it differently?
I would
What
do it
method?
slightly differently. Do
Okay.
not be beholden to the coin flip. Don't let the coin flip tell you yes or no. Let the coin flip help you suss out your own intuition.
Okay, tell me more.
So you go up to a machine, you look at the machine, and you have a sense of, do I want to play this machine?
Mm,
Can't decide if I want to play this machine or not.
I see.
Flip a coin. The coin says no. You look at the machine and you have a sense of, if I followed the coin, it would be no. Then you sense, but I really want to play the machine. Play the machine.
Ah,
The
okay.
coin took it away
Mm-hmm.
from you, and your intuition is, I want to play it, then play it. The coin says no, and you're like, no, that's the right decision. Then you confirmed your intuition, and then that helps you understand and moves you away from indecision to helping hone your own intuition. That's how I like to use a coin flip, is
Yeah,
to help. And you had alluded to this already, rather than be beholden to the coin being the answer, have
right.
the coin help you discern what is your true will and desire.
But of course, yes. Isn't that the true nature of all of this? Yes.
Yeah, that's how we use a tool to help us understand ourselves. So
Mm.
if I find a machine and I'm already like, I definitely want to play that machine right there, I love it. But usually in Vegas, there's three machines that are identical right next to each other, or they're in a circle and there's one, two, three, and they're all identical. You're
Yep.
like, shoot, which one of these same machines is going to tell me? Maybe you're like, it's the one facing the entrance, it's the one facing the bathrooms, it's the one facing the cash box. And you'll be like, oh, I want the one facing the cashiers because I feel that way, or the one facing the bathroom because I feel like no one will play that. And that's the one
Mm.
facing the door because it has the most energy. You'll already know, or maybe you
Wow.
won't know. And
Mm.
you're like, this is the one that I sense. And I'm going to
Mm.
flip a coin to confirm or deny my own sort of thing. So this is
Yeah.
one of the ways to use that coin flip, is to help you discern or help you suss out your own intuition rather than I just do what the coin tells me. I also love our observation about observation.
Yes. And again, maybe that was part of the reason that I was luckier before, was
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, this one. Not, oh, this one because it has the dollar thing that I can make sure it's all even because this is a
Yeah.
scientific experiment. Yes.
Because when you're not being observed, then you're free to let your unconscious say, I'm going to hit this one more time, or I need to put in another $5. There's probably a reason why you have an intuition to do that, even though it's not consistent across whatever,
Mm.
because boom, there's the jackpot, or boom, there's the loss that has you then be pissed and have you walk and be like, I'm so freaking angry, and have you walk a different route back, and then you see the ticket on the ground that
Yep.
someone left, or you see the one time I was in Vegas and there was a whole bucket of coins and it was like, wait, is this someone's? And I went up to the thing and they're like, there's no
Yours
way
now.
it's yours. That was back when there were still coins. There's different ways to have luck in Vegas.
Speaking of, part of what I thought was very lucky in our Vegas experience was that Brienne booked us to go to the Zach Baggins Haunted House Tour. And if you don't know, Zach Baggins was the guy behind Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures, super popular, really amazing, harassing haunted ghost spirits.
He takes an approach to it that I don't love.
People are super into his approach.
That is something I found out when I got there. Those people were not like me, who was like, oh, I'm interested in this realm. I just want to see this guy's approach. They were like, he is my approach.
We would have a different approach, and perhaps future episodes will talk all about non-corporeal spirits and how to work with them.
Yeah. So anyway, our first day, we are at the plaza and playing slots, probably Silver Strike, and this lady passes by in that t-shirt from this place, and I said, hey, we're going to go there later today. How did you like it? Must be okay, you're wearing the shirt. And she goes, oh, yeah, it was good. There were a couple of jump scares and like a clown room, which was creepy, but otherwise it was interesting, whatever. And if you don't know me that well, those are two things that I don't like to have surprised on me, are jump scares at all. Hate that. And clowns. So to have this wonderful, beautiful human be able to warn me ahead of time that this was going to happen to me was a gift. It was so lucky because I would have peed my pants and freaked out.
Luck that you had that woman wearing that t-shirt and walking by you. The luck that you were there to film and to actually be extroverted and talk to people. Imagine how you had set that luck up in so many ways beforehand with your candle, with your oils, with everything else. If you were just going to Vegas for Rob's birthday and to just have a good time, you would have never had even thought about that or anything.
No.
But this is part of that intention, is in all ways, there was so much fortune and luck that surrounded you.
Absolutely. We consistently had easy rides going places and the flights were good. There were no big surprises of any bad nature. We just went with the flow and it was fun. It was a lucky trip. What would you have done differently? How might you have tested some luck with gambling or that kind of a thing?
I think you did the right thing with putting drops of oil in your hands, then everyone else at the table, like engaging with the other people at the blackjack table and having fun that way was also a really good thing. One of the practical ways to increase your luck is to meet new people and bring some joy. So that is always a great thing, is laughter and positive energy increases your luck. Always. You were doing that along with a little bit of magic. So you were bringing light and love and levity and joy into that thing, for not only for the players, but also for the dealer.
Yep.
And so that was something that was really fun. Now, Rob chose not to take the luck oil. He was then playing the fall guy or the deadpan. It couldn't have been better. Like, it wouldn't have worked as well. You had to have Rob be in that position to be like, I'm going to not take it just to see what happened. And so it was the best possible situation. You know how hard it is to get a blackjack?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen when you don't get a blackjack. Like, you can get 21, you can hit 20, 19 and do really well. But to get a blackjack and to be paid 1.5 times and to get blackjacks successively is pretty remarkable. And to have that play out in that way, and then the one person who didn't do that to not get one, sure,
it says something.
That can happen. But also, ... And you didn't film it, and so it wasn't observed scientifically.
True.
It was just in the realm of having fun, trying something, having a lot of joy, bringing
engaging.
Engaging. So you were really creating this wonderful environment, even with Rob, of course, we love Rob.
He
Yeah.
won $500 on a blackjack that he got earlier. So he
Right.
really was the big winner ultimately. This
Yeah.
has just happened to be one very convenient example.
And this was one of the times when he was actually probably facilitating the luck for everyone.
That's
So
true.
he has that way of being the foundation for everyone else to win. I've noticed that about him when we go to karaoke, when we're going out to do things. Rob is that person who will be that magical foundation, and he'll sometimes work magic in the background that he won't tell anyone about. Rob
Mm.
is someone who likes to smooth it, right?
Yeah,
He'll
yep,
create this like environment, and it's like whenever I'm with Rob, things go well. And I think
yep.
that's a lot of Rob's kind of magic. And so I can see him being like, nope, I don't need any. I already won big. I'm going to let everyone else do it. What a generous thing to do. And so that was also part of that generosity that was created. But a
Mm.
fantastic, perfect table.
It really was the
So I
perfect
would do,
experience.
not all of those are going to go that way, but that's a great example of how to create luck. Meet a new person,
Mm.
create joy,
Yep.
have fun. Don't try to contrive that by itself. Just have fun and go with it. We can
Yeah.
look back and see, gosh, these were the elements that really contributed to that. But you can't really create that and contrive that, but you can just have fun and create joy.
Right.
And when you're in those situations, go with the flow and go with the wins and the losses and just
Yeah.
mostly enjoy yourself with your good luck oil and your tools that you and have a blast. It's just a game.
It's just a game.
You're just playing with biosurvival tokens that we call money. If we approach life like life is just a game, it actually becomes a lot more fun and a lot less significant. This is a way to really allow ourselves to chill and to have that idea of non-attachment and flow in our lives. And that lets things really go a lot better. That's why I love to go to Caesar's Palace in Vegas, because there's a huge statue of Fortuna. They're Greek deities. Even though they're fiberglass, it's still really cool to have those images
Right.
there. And I love to leave little offerings and touch the pedestal that those Greek deities are on, because, and Roman deities also, because it's great to have those there that have been revered for thousands of years, and to know that there's Fortuna looking out over
Mm.
the entire casino. And I know how to leverage that energy that Fortuna would bring. And that Fortuna is like 30 feet tall or larger. If that's in your pantheon, it's a really fun thing to do.
Jim makes this great point about Caesars. My whole thing is like Egyptian culture. No wonder I'm like so drawn to the Luxor. It's a huge pyramid with a beacon of
Yeah.
light on the top, and the inside is like insane. I have been to Vegas 3 times now. I have yet to make it over there, but I want
What?
to.
It's falling apart and will probably have to be demolished at some point. But before they have to do that, go
I'd like to
to
get there
the
before then.
staying in the Luxor and being in the Luxor is very cool. And it's got that very interesting, like only in Vegas type of experience. And
Mm.
that's another thing to do, is take advantage of engineering
Mhm.
choices on one half, but very cool metaphysical opportunities on the other
Yeah.
half. And then get the hell out of Vegas and just go up north of Vegas to like Turtle Springs, Fossil Beds, to Desert National Wildlife Refuge. Red Rock Canyon is outrageous. It is so
Mm.
beautiful. And just a quick drive.
What a
And
nice way to break up like fake stuff with really real stuff.
so you can do that and clear your mind, recenter on nature, on yourself, on the earth. Realize that it's
Mm.
all just a game and it's for entertainment and fun. And human beings created all this glitz and glamour and lights. And then you can dive back in or fly home
Yeah.
and feel your luck.
There you go. Remember, Pamela Chen said she says she's grateful for her luck every day. I'm so lucky. And I've been trying that too. And I must say, I think it works. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about all these slot superstitions. We'll be right back. Hey, Knit a Spell fans and our Patreon members. Here's a quick reminder to let you know that our March Magic promotion is going to end on April 4th. But don't worry, even if you've just signed up, you can go ahead and participate in all 5 challenges right away. That means you'll be eligible for the grand prize, a 30-minute poem reading with Jim, even if you sign up today. Join us and learn more at patreon.com/lightfromlantern. Jim and I hope to see you there. And we're back.
Yay.
So, Jim, as part of the preparation to go to Vegas and win slots, I spent a lot of time researching slot superstitions.
I had no idea there are superstitions around slot machines.
Yes.
Okay, hit me. What's a superstition around slot machines?
After much research, here's a list of items that I thought were most interesting.
Okay.
Starting with the $50 bill. Don't use that. Bad luck.
What? Wait, slot machines take your 50s?
Slot machines will take any of your money, but this person that had this particular tip seemed to be under the impression that the $50 bill in particular is bad luck. But why?
When Bugsy Siegel was killed, he had 3 50s in his pocket, and that was the only cash he had on him. Is that what you read?
No, but that seems like as good a reason as any, right?
A $50 bill is deadly. True bettors don't bet with them and don't want them in their payouts, is one of the old school taboos. Whenever someone wins a 50, they leave the game immediately. Wow, it's a fairly obscure superstition,
Yeah.
but it's among American gamblers. $50 are considered unlucky. It is widespread on the internet.
If you have some insight, let me know. Oh, I also am reading, yes, because of the president, which is Ulysses S. Grant, who went bankrupt before he died. So I guess there's a lot of like stuff around it that I guess is not good. Also, 50s apparently were very prevalent with being counterfeit. So that's another reason. $50 bills? I'll take 100.
Very interesting about the 50s.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
someone who was a professional poker player in Vegas, and he's also a magical person, and I'm going to ask him about this.
Oh, yeah. Ask him if he knows about the guy with the orange.
What?
There was an Asian poker player who swears by keeping a mandarin orange on the table with him, and he smells it when he needs luck. And I was like, oh, mandarin is a luck kind of symbol,
Yeah.
and the smell is a high frequency thing.
Orange is used in block remover, and so he's removing blocks. So that's a really interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to
All
ask
right.
and report
What's
back.
another superstition with slot machines?
How you treat it. So people
What?
think that it is sensitive to you either being nice to it, so talking kindly, caressing it, being nice generally, versus people who swear by, and Pamela Chen told us this 2 weeks ago, slapping it or kicking the machine or downright calling it rude names, giving it the business. That's also been told to be good luck. So interacting with the machine, giving it the business, or talking nicely to it, I guess it just depends on your take.
So either way will coax a payout.
Yep. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
Okay. What about the machine talking back to you? So you said something about turning the volume
Yes.
up, like on the self-check machine at the grocery store. Is that a thing that is one of these superstitions?
Yes, indeed. Turn the volume all the way up for a full experience. There are many people out there who are convinced that the higher you put the volume, the more invested you are in the game, and thus the machine knows and it will pay you more.
Be in it to win it.
Yes, indeed.
Huh. All right. What's another?
Nobody was willing to confirm this, but I did ask a couple of people. I heard that the casinos could hire coolers, aka people who are bad luck or who cool off a good luck streak. So they hire people and plant them in the casino to make people who have like good luck and higher frequency winning streaks lower that. What do you think on that?
What?
Yeah.
You mean like they'll hire like an energetic vampire to come and sit next to you? What is his name on What We Do in the
Colin
Shadows?
Robinson.
They'll hire that dude to come sit next to you and bring the energy down and ruin the luck of your blackjack table when you're winning?
Yeah.
No way.
These are just things that I have heard. Rumors, superstitions.
I say no. I don't think that the casino is going to spend money on that.
I don't know. I feel like anything is possible, but how would you hire someone like that?
Can you imagine if you just like, if you're like Debbie Downer and you're like, I got hired by the Bellagio and I just show up and I'm like, you're never going to win.
Yep.
And that's your job. You just go and you play blackjack. You're paid by the casino. We got to make a TV show about the cooler.
The cooler.
Sell it to Netflix.
Jim, you're a genius. Yes. There would be so much content for this. It would be so funny. Who would be the cooler? You cast the cooler right now.
I think it would be Kristen Wiig.
Yep. Or Rachel Dratch.
It would just be like hilarious.
Mm.
We'd have to do it like how they're doing that show with the soccer player.
Ted Lasso?
Yeah, we'd have to do it like a Ted Lasso. Like the intention is to like bring down the winners, but they end up messing it up and making them win even more and like getting excited about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be fun.
We're going to have to cut all this out because it's actually a good idea and someone's going to actually steal it.
I know, right? Yeah, okay. Cut that, all of that. We're saving it for
all
later.
that needs to be cut out, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe coolers are a thing and we won't talk anything more about that for now.
All right, what else? Let's do a few more.
You'll love this one. One guy said, "Don't touch my stuff." So if you're playing at a machine for a while and the drink person comes around and they bust your items, if he can't tell them no first and to please not touch his things and they just take his stuff, he'll leave. He will leave that machine and move somewhere else. He thinks it takes away the energy, like they just swept it out of there, like all the stuff.
They took the mojo out. So he wants all his empty drinks and straws and crap. Is he a hoarder? I'm wondering.
He's either very particular and pristine or exactly what you'd think.
All right. Do you have another one that you love?
Yeah. So things that we've talked about in the past that just confirm what you've said in terms of what you're wearing. So a lot of people think if you dress up, you will have a more high frequency. So if you're feeling awesome and you're looking awesome, you're going to win like awesome. So that sort of thinking. Or
so dress for the jackpot you want.
That's it.
Not for the jackpot you are.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Well, I noticed in your video you were wearing red. So I suppose, is it also like maybe the color you're wearing or the vibe you're feeling?
Red is very lucky. And so if you wear red, like red underwear, so get it like as close to your person as you can, or maybe you're wearing all red, that sort of a thing. And you had mentioned polka dots, so that was also bringing
polka dots
coins.
are coins, so I love wearing polka dots because that means money.
Yep. And then of course things that we mentioned in the video, which were like people are very particular about which direction they load the money in and exactly where it's placed in the slot. So yeah, there's all sorts of things out there, and I'm sure we've only covered a brief handful of things. So I invite our listeners...
we've covered every single superstition in gambling.
That's true.
So if you have a superstition in gambling that we have not covered, it doesn't exist. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
But obviously, you have superstitions when you gamble or when you play cards. We have one when we're playing cards, which is walk around the chair to change your luck.
Oh, okay.
If you're not doing well in cards, you get up and walk around your chair. What are your superstitions when it comes to card games or gambling or luck? How do you do that? I want to know. Katie wants to know. We will put them up and we'll share them.
Jim, I'm really excited to go back with you and do this for real. You and I, we're going to take the place down.
That's right. We will go to the Chandelier Bar. We'll go to Caesars. We will go to the Luxor. We'll go to all the magical places, and we will do more than gamble.
Yes.
We'll hang out with Pamela Chen, Pamela Unicorn, and a bunch of other magical people in Las Vegas.
Yes.
I always say Lost Wages, like I say, but Las Vegas, which is a cool place.
Yes, indeed. All right, Jim, I look forward to next month celebrating our birthday.
All right.
Yay. All right. We'll see you then, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for
listening.
If you enjoyed the show, consider sharing it with a friend, leaving a review on iTunes and Spotify, or following Knit a Spell on Instagram.
You can also subscribe to the Light from Lantern YouTube channel to enjoy full episodes of Knit a Spell and see our happy faces.
You can also learn more about readings, classes, and events going on with your favorite maker of magic, James Devine, by visiting thedivinehand.com and subscribing to his newsletter. Then follow Jim's fun and interactive Instagram account at DivineHandJim.
Keep up with Katie, the magical maker, by subscribing to her newsletter at lightfromlantern.com. You'll receive a free knitting pattern as a thank you gift. Then follow Katie on Instagram at lightfromlantern for even more magical making tips. See you next week.